inside, and Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it blocked.
What is being watched by the basketball community? Possibly the most peculiar, most unbelievable endorsement deal in fresh recollection. Angel Reese continues to drop reels of highlights, not the type you save for the summary of the season, but the type that cause commoners to go silent. Button in place of the replay. Additionally, with her large trademark Reebok sneaker was locked in. Insiders are beginning preparations for a 2026 launch. To mutter, is this the most expensive? Misfire because someone considered bringing. Was the XFL a wise move back then?
Chicago Bravado once again got their ass kicked. Angel Reese was so bad last night, the announcers calling the game, they were laughing at her performance. Check out some highlights for yourself. Well, KC, you always do this. You select a couple of bad plays and try to convince us that Angel Reese isn't a superstar.
Reese always hits the floor with a stacca. Keepers nationwide prepare themselves rather than enthusiasm. She has excelled in her sophomore season. Something so perplexing that it's practically an artistic medium, making 31.5% of layups while having the third highest number of layups in the league.
Take a moment to process that.
We are discussing a professional who is 6 feet 3 inches. Athletes who don't get their high school shots. In their slumber, JV players fall asleep. The arithmetic itself is incomprehensible.
How?
Are you this near the hoop and still give the impression that it's a coin toss?
Angel Reese, face up. Oh, here we go. Oh, snap. Cook up. Crossover. Crossover. Right to the rack. And we... Oh, but we got our own rebound. Beautiful. We got our own offensive rebound. Here we go again. A little bit of travel action in there. And we missed another. But don't worry. We grabbed our second rebound. Let me just posture up real quick. Talk my ish. You can't guard me. You can't guard me. Point forward. And
one matchup with the New York Liberty provided us with the best. For instance, for consecutive missed setbacks. 12 seconds later, 2 of them swatted back at her. The video didn't merely become viral. It went viral on the internet and became a lesson about living, breathing, and turning a simple basketball game into accidental slapstick. Yes, the percentage of season field goals is displayed at a respectable 44.4%. However, that figure loses a lot of its luster when you discover that the majority of her shots arrive. Here's the kicker, just at the rim. The majority of pros complete layups at 70 to 80%.
Clip.
Reese has somehow been able to turn the simplest, most basic shot in. Fans turn the game into a 50-50 gamble, are unsure about how a player can. Tall may be so untrustworthy in the basket. The most obvious indication of how Angel Reese's shooting has become difficult is included in the statistics, but not in the voices of those who paid to create each and every. The play sounds like a big hit.
Washington Mystics just put belt to ass on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Sonia Citron was out there cooking with hot grease. Stir the pot. Stir the pot. Keep cooking, Sonia. That was a show. She put on a flat-out show versus Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky. Boy, did they ruin Angel Reese.
NBA and WNBA analysts are experts at transforming a simple free throw into the world heard the shot, but as Reese approaches the edge, suddenly, the same voices begin to battle to maintain their composure, and occasionally they losing the fight. In a recent match following another perplexing omission of what ought to been laid up walk-in style, 1. The pundit was unable to conceal it, laughed live on the radio. Furthermore, this wasn't that playful teasing you hear following an uncommon miss. This was the sound of sincere skepticism combined with frustration in the workplace, when those whose responsibility it is to sell your excellence begin to chuckle at your
tries.
You've entered a new area. Most sportsmen don't even sniff
math, but it looks like Angel Reese wins 1 out of every 3 games. If I remember correctly, Angel Reese has beaten a team with a winning record once this season. So you tell me how Angel Reese impacts
It has given the internet a field day. Her missed layups have added up to a total of sports content subgenre, millions of views, spectators playing circus tunes, slow freeze frames and motion replays to extend each awkward moment.
This
Is not a viral moment of a sort that removes sneakers from the shelves. Kind that makes the marketing guys at Reebok, at 3 in the morning, gaze at the ceiling, pondering where all went wrong. The worst part is that this might all slip between the cracks if her group was stacking victories. However, the Chicago Sky, they're playing a brand while seated at 721 of basketball that is a source of some mess. League teams appear well prepared. Reese's, a cold streak, is more than just a bad mood. It is the main performer in a season-long battle with executives and fans. Heads shaking, the Chicago Sky are midst of a skid of 8 games, and the main twist is that they've gone from 0 to. She helped them score 5 points in games without Ree. The contradiction is a recent injury to the back. With her, they can't win, but somehow. Without her, they're much more terrible. Like complaining about a broken air conditioner while your entire home is on fire.
Wants to bring in talent to grow Reebok and like have people wear it again because no one does. So one of his genius decisions was this. Fucking signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of like fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely
Tyler Marsh, coach, has made every effort to see the bright side. Whole spin on it, however, even the most post-game statements with precise wording can't conceal the truth. This list was created surrounding a guy who is the most reliable. The highlight is inadvertently fueling blooper reels when your celebrity is at their worst. Renowned for skipping shots while wearing a blindfold, perhaps a middle schooler could bank in. Talk of championships doesn't simply go away, it disappears, but then Reebok appears, focusing on the Angel Reese comeback. As part of Shaquille O'Neal's, she became their first major and showed leadership. Years of basketball signings with A. For 2026, the signature shoe is locked. Paper, it had every element of a clever risk. Young player, powerful on the internet. Following the capacity to develop into the function, but commitments on paper have a negative tendency to become origami catastrophes. When things get genuine, Todd Krinsky, CEO of Reebok, even made a comparison. Reese to Allen and Shaquille O'Neal. Iverson claims to have the same potential for cultural change.
All-Star break, we come back, 9 turnovers. We sit out with a back injury, we come back, can't make a fundamentally sound layup. Maybe they rushed you back from injury. Tyler Marsh, did you rush her back from injury, Tyler Marsh?
I'm searching. However, this is where things get weird. Shaq and not only were AI cultural icons, but they were powerful players on the floor. That component is still absent. Additionally, the more misses that accumulate, the more that comparison seems less motivating. And additionally, what were you thinking? Individuals in the industry is beginning to question whether Reebok had a thorough understanding of registering. When you create an athlete, the spokesperson for your company, you're not only purchasing their gift, you're placing a wager on where they're going. Additionally, in Reese's instance, that trajectory appears to be a straight line into the rim space. The ball then bounced helplessly after that into the bleachers. Paradoxically, the most forgiving turn-in. This hoop soap opera that is still going on has been. Due to her recent back injury, Reese is unable to, missing several games. Now, injuries are never encouraging, but her absence has allowed everyone to take a respite from. The weekly parade of essential mistakes in basketball. The timing would have been more practical. Highlight footage of her missed layups. We're reaching the point of viral saturation. Internet, enabling the basketball community to catch its breath after observing an expert battle with shots that most fans give up on. The neighborhood gym.
Went to school with. I'm not gonna follow people who are not friends of mine, but acquaintances, right? Again, you don't have to. I'm not gonna do that to you. But again, sometimes I'd be looking at their page and like, bro, you were fucking lucky, cause I was better. I wanted to unfollow you so fucking bad, but again, I'm not no celeb, so I ain't gonna do it. But I low-key be plotting on niggas to unfollow me, just so I could be like, bitch, I don't even fuck with you like that. For real, for real. And a lot of times I be wanting to unfollow people because a lot of people don't even really.
For the marketing staff at Reebok, this injury break has been a packaged present.
Packs.
It has given them valuable time to determine how to market a shoe that is attached to a. The player's most often replayed moments include
Fails.
the timing becomes even juicier. It prevented her from competing versus the Indiana Fever under her leadership. Caitlin Clark, an old adversary from college who's maintained her famous persona right into the pros with actual corresponding production. That absence spared us from what's potentially the most unbalanced individual battle since David encountered Goliath. Had David been Goliath was blinded and had he was holding a basketball from a company angle. The experiment with Angel Reese is becoming a masterclass, but not in terms of brand construction, but how a well-known endorsement might fall apart in public. Reebok has invested a significant amount of money into a player whose performance on the court operates against the fundamental basis of endorsements for sports. The notion that buyers are inspired by victory.
The formula is
Straightforward. Fans lace up. Success sells. Jordan, since they aspire to be similar to Mike, they channel LeBron by wearing his things. That aura of victory. However, what's the offer for the iconic sneaker of Angel Reese? Like your favorite missed layup.
pro.
The company has attempted to manipulate it, embracing Reese's unrepentant personality and impact on the internet, promoting her as a cultural icon instead of that might fly more than a basketball force. For a brand of living, but for basketball equipment for performance, it's a issue. You cannot persuade hoopers that these footwear will increase their game when the box's player maintains, demonstrating that the principles of basketball are.
Marsh has this point forward thing on lock. Tyler Marsh has this Angel Reese point forward thing on lock. There we go, pushing the pace. Yeah, Angel. It's okay. It's okay. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. All right, here we go. We got an entry pass. It looks like it's going to be to Elizabeth Williams, and
Furthermore, it's not like Reese conceals her flaws. Teammates, the Chicago Sky, if anything, roster makes them glaringly obvious. Rather than producing looks that are easy to score, would cover off her unsteady completing. The transgression frequently compels her to into difficult shots that she isn't making. Tyler Marsh and the head coach in a first year. Because your puzzle is more difficult than his challenge was one that no one bargained for. Create a winning strategy centered on a player whose output is most consistently viral. Clips from social media.
It's similar to being
Presented as sporty sports vehicle, only to discover out that it has square wheels and is aiming to take home the Indianapolis 500. Possibly the most revealing aspect. When Rhea has been injured and unable to play, even still, the Sky continued to appear even more lost, demonstrating that this story is about more than. It is a full-fledged franchise with just one player. Crisis of identity. A few of the Sky's numbers convey an unpleasant story because it is illuminating, some offensive. In fact, game stats have improved, despite the fact that the losses continue without Rhea stacking up. In other words, her regaining. On paper, statistics may appear strong, but her the entire effect could be subtly dragging, lowering the team's level of performance. The type of perplexing contradiction that has GMs murmuring and coaches taking antacids, revising their resumes. However, this is the turnabout. In the social media-driven, in the world of athletics, failure can occasionally be more lucrative than achievement. Reese's millions of views are accumulated by missed layups. Her dubious shot selections ignite countless memes, as well as her general. What were the moments that turned into gold? Look for channels that provide sports commentary.
She had a good game, 22 points, 13 rebounds, but she shot terribly. She got bailed out so many times, throwing up brick layups, getting phantom foul calls from the refs. She did make 10 of 11 free throws, so that is good. 6 of 16 from the floor is not good at all. 0 of 1 from 3. She was a minus 11. Listen, man, Kiki area thing.
It has produced an odd, almost grotesque incentive in situations where athletes' poor performance is rewarded with clicks, influence, and unwavering focus. Ree has assumed the position of basketball's take on reality television. Celebrity, famous only because they're famous, regardless of, as stated in the box score. As for Reebok, that's hazardous as well as fascinating.
Do
You give a player who commands more attention, even if the majority of it is negative. That viral fame is the issue. Based on failure, it fades quicker. One day, the internet will love you. Accidental comedian. The audience is now watching a fresh blooper. Real, and the endorsement agreements you have are stuck with a name that nobody wants to touch is the boundary between being noteworthy and deserving of remembrance. Additionally, with the release of Reese's iconic sneaker approaching it is impossible to overlook tension. Money has already been spent by Reebok. Sneak peeks made public, and excitement. Equipment operating at maximum efficiency, hoping this will be a moment of cultural change. However, if the laughter continues, the culture may change in quite diverse ways.
direction.
The characteristic of culture is that it self-defines. At this moment, the main focus of Angel Reese's culture is basketball misunderstanding. Within the industry, rumors are growing louder, according to some insiders. Reebok may change course and abandon the notion of a basketball shoe with performance and, rather than inserting her famous line inside the path of lifestyle, discreetly acknowledging that the connection between in-court and excellence is a tenuous concept, at most.
There's a dude on the internet who cracks me up. On TikTok, he's put together a load of Angel Reese clips, and it'll say Angel Reese part 36. And it goes, Angel Reese going up for another layup. She misses, bang! And I mean, dude, it's the funniest. And my whole thing is this, dude. She just seems as uncoordinated as a baby giraffe. Yeah, I mean,
come on, people conjecture about a perpetual postponement, hoping that time and certain viral diversions may disappear. The pain of those never-ending shadows. Reels. The voices that are more negative. They want to know if Reebok is silently searching for a complete escape plan. Yes, the brand has doubled in the public eye, down on its dedication, while in reality, no business can overlook the business calamity of linking its brand to persistent failure in sports. Finally, even the most patient investors begin insisting on seeing figures. The return on investment on misses that go viral don't exactly shout. Sustained expansion. What Angel Reese and I are witnessing is a feature of contemporary sports marketing. A signature athlete who is never truly seen. Missing shots are their defining move. That need to happen automatically. Reebok's taking a chance on her potential is becoming an overview of how endorsements collapse when the hype outpaces real show. Additionally, as the Chicago basketball with a deeper skyscraper, irrelevant since Reese continues to deliver. Inadvertently hilarious, the questions dealing with Reebok is becoming excruciating. How can you sell shoes in an emergency? Brand ambassador repeatedly demonstrates her inability to. How do you deliver where it matters? Market results when the results. Is tanking right now?
How do you
Create an enduring sports brand centered on an individual whose primary contribution to the blooper reels are being fueled by the game?
It's so bad that when Caitlin Clark and her were supposed to face off against each other the other week, the ticket sales went down from $100 to like $5 because Caitlin Clark got injured. She had a quad injury, so she wasn't playing. So guess what? No one wanted to go watch. And if you don't know Caitlin Clark, she's pretty much the GOAT of the WNBA and is the reason why people are watching. No one watches you, Angel Reese. No one watches you. The only thing that I enjoy watching is all the clips on TikTok of you just countlessly just missing.
The year 2026 is drawing near.
launch?
Additionally, each clanking layup, each moment of bewilderment hoops and viral. Each and every loss in the sky, continuous.
Catastrophe draws us closer to.
What can be considered the most excruciating, the most embarrassing sneaker release in sports history? As the 2026 release date approaches, Reebok is a shot clock that is going to expire, staring down an uncontrollable nightmare. Through influencer posts or glitzy advertisements, every meme, every missed layup, they're being stacked against by a viral clip, transforming what ought to have been a victorious start of a countdown in public in the direction of catastrophe. The publicity machine they constructed for Angel
Now, Rhea is caught in the same web that she.
continues to block bullets into.
Additionally,
They are not having a good season with the Chicago Sky. Lifeline. Every loss intensifies the relationship between Reese's company and basketball fans aren't relevant. No longer discussing her potential. They're blatantly doubting how she even got there. This bargain in the first place. Her highlight is being treated by chat shows like late-night comedic routines or reels. Additionally, the joke is consistently the same. Finishing is not something you can teach. Or perhaps you. Someone should, and they can. Behind closed doors, marketing teams are likely conducting damage control exercises, considering strategies to change the story prior to launch day becomes a corporate faceplant, rebranding lifestyle. Possible. Well-known figures co-sign to conceal the problems with performance on the table, but the truth is straightforward. Cannot remove years' worth of low-light footage using one photo session. Additionally, while Reebok continues to play defense, grabbing rebounds, taking shots, and inexplicably failing to catch the ones that should be automated.